Shalom. Before I begin this video, first and foremost, I want to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem Yahweh Shai, Bahashem Rachakodash. Also, double honors to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone. They continue to rule very well to this very day. Let's continue to feed and fly through the spirit and power of Yahweh, Bahashem Yahweh Shai. And also, Shalom to the hopefully elect that's also doing the same things in this work, that's laboring to enter into the rest that we long for, in all faith, truth, sincerity, and all charity, and giving all diligence to make your calling and election sure. Now, the topic of this video is going to be entitled The House of David, the Lively Stones, in which the House of David is being built to this very day. And the House of David, it consists of, first and foremost, the elect of the nation of Israel. Because the scriptures, when you go into the scriptures, it always speaks about an election that's going to come out of the nation of Israel, which consists of 12,000 members, 12,000 Israelites out of each tribe of the nation of Israel. If you read about that in the book of Revelation, the 7th chapter, in which that's the temple that's being built right now. All right, and before the eyes of the people, they're seeing the building of the temple. Okay, when you see men of Israel coming together for one cause, which is the cause of Yahweh Bahashem Yahweh Shai and his agenda, that's the temple that's being built. All right, that's why you see brothers getting together, congregating, breaking bread, because we're all in one accord. Because, scriptures speak about the other houses that are being built, which Yahweh Shai going to a parable concerning the house that was built on sand and the house that was built on stone. Basically, the people's foundation is founded on sand, right? And also their habitation in the house that they built spiritually, is made with untempered mortar. That's also spoken about in the scriptures, and also, it's made with all types of materials, because not all stones, man. If you go into the buildings that, or should I say the spiritual buildings that the people put together, it's made of wood, it's made of sticks, it's made of mud, all types of material, so to speak, or all type of I use that word material. So they use different types of materials that can be destroyed, that can be easily turned over and destroyed. But with the House of David consists of lively stones. All right, I'm about to read it here in a second. Because with a stone, you can't move a stone. You can't move a house that's made of stone. All right, it's not easily movable. It's not easily destroyed. And by the way, that same house, which is the House of David, is also found on the stone. All right, and that stone is Yahweh Shai. So compared to the other houses that are being built with wood, with stubble, with mud, with sticks, all types of material that can be easily destroyed, the House of David is built with stone. Okay? That's why when all hell breaks loose, the House of David is only going to be the house that's standing in that day. When the winds come, which the winds represent the destruction, and it beats on the house, that house is still going to be standing. Meanwhile, the other houses that are built not on stone, or should I say not built on stone, those are going to fall, man. Okay, now I'm gonna go ahead and jump to the scriptures here. 1 Peter, the 2nd chapter, is at the 5th verse. Slakia. Right, so 1 Peter, the 2nd chapter and 5th verse, it says, "Ye also, as lively stones, are built up a spiritual house and holy priesthood to offer up spiritual sacrifices acceptable to the Most High by Yahweh Shai HaMashiach." So we being as lively stones, right, in which, it's no coincidence that we've been given the name Great Millstone. Okay? Because with that name Great Millstone, that goes to show you that we're those lively stones through the spirit and power of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai. Okay? So it says, "Ye also as lively stones are built up a spiritual house." So we're built up a spiritual house, man. It's not a physical house. We're not building a whole mega church or an Israelite school. None of that, man. All right? Because we're the house. We're the house that's being built. We're the house that's being put together. Okay? And we're the house that's going to stand in that day. Why? Because it was founded on a stone. It was founded on Yahweh Shai. It says a holy priesthood to offer spiritual sacrifices acceptable to the Most High by Yahweh Shai HaMashiach. All right, and the spiritual sacrifice is doing its work. Okay? Like it also says in the scripture, it says you're supposed to give your body as a living sacrifice. All right, so that's the sacrifice that's acceptable to the Most High. Hey, and also in the same scripture, it says it's our reasonable service to give ourselves as a sacrifice to the Most High, Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai, to give up our bodies as a living sacrifice. It's a reasonable service. So that's what's acceptable in the eyes of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai. All right, that's a spiritual sacrifice acceptable to the Most High, and that's by Yahweh Shai HaMashiach. How do we know that? It's because Yahweh Shai was also made a sacrifice. All right, he gave himself up as a sacrifice for the sins of the nation of Israel. All right. Because there's certain things that Yahweh Shai could have did that he wanted to do, but he didn't do it because he knew that he had a job to do. Okay? Because in the flesh he was perfect. Okay? When he came as himself. And there's other reasons why he gave himself up as a sacrifice, but I'll leave that for another topic for another video. But I'm gonna go ahead and jump to the next precept I got. It's Revelations, the 21st chapter. And this is at the 15th verse. Slakia. Let me grab another precept here. All right, so Revelation, the 21st chapter. It's at the 15th verse. It says, "And he that taught with me had a golden reed to measure the city, and the gates thereof, and the wall thereof." Right. So the gates and the wall of the city itself, that's going into where scriptures speaks about as our New Jerusalem. Okay? Because the New Jerusalem that you see that is being put together and is going to come back in a glorious fashion is going to be the elect of the nation of Israel. All right? It's going to be the nation of Israel, starting with the elect. All right? Why? Because it's not going to be an entire city, with buildings and this and that that's going to come out of the sky and land on the planet Earth. No, man. New Jerusalem is talking about the people itself, which is the elect. Because the people make the nation. All right? A city doesn't make a nation. Because Israel is a people before it's a place. Okay? Verse 16 says, "In the city lieth 4 square, and the length is as large as the breadth. And he measured the city with the reed 12,000 furlongs." All right, which 12,000 goes into the tribes. All right, which is 12,000 out of each tribe, right? Which that number 12, if symbolic for the tribes of Israel. Okay. It says it said the length and the breadth of the height and the height of it are equal. And he measured the wall thereof 144 cubits, right? So 144 cubits, according to the measure of a man that is of the angel. So the wall that's measured is 40 cubits, which represents the 144,000. Okay. And that wall is made up of what? Go back and read it. This is what the wall is made out of. First Peter, the 2nd chapter and 5th verse. It says, "Ye also, as lively stones, are built up a spiritual house and holy priesthood, to offer spiritual sacrifices acceptable to the Most High by Yahushua and Mashiach." See? So that wall consists of lively stones, which is what? 144 cubits, which is 144,000 members of the elect. All right. Now I'm gonna go ahead and read this next precept that I added. This is what I quoted about that spiritual sacrifice, right? Which is reasonable. So this is Romans the 12th chapter. And this is the first verse. It says, "I beseech you therefore, brethren, by the mercies of the Most High." I can little discrepancy in the road here. I'm in transit. Romans the 12th chapter in the first verse. I'm gonna read again. It says, "I beseech you, brethren, by the mercies of the Most High, that ye present your bodies a living sacrifice, holy, acceptable unto the Most High, which is your reasonable service." See? So that's our reasonable service. So we know the will of the Lord, man. And his will is for us to be that sacrifice. Okay? That spiritual sacrifice. So we don't have to be made a physical sacrifice. Okay? Which we all know what that physical sacrifice is, man. Being burnt up in that thermonuclear fire. Okay, which is to come upon the land of America. Okay, so it's better to receive the spiritual beating, spiritual whooping, so to speak, rather than facing the physical whooping, which is going to be by what? Famine, martial law troops, concentration camps, which ultimately leads to the destruction by fire. Okay. Now, go ahead and grab this last precept, Luke the 17th chapter, and this is at the 20th verse. It says, "And when he was demanded of the Pharisees when the kingdom of the Most High should come, he answered them and said, the kingdom of the Most High cometh not with observation." See? So it's not going to be, it's nothing that's carnal. Okay? So the kingdom of heaven does not come with observation. So the people think that the kingdom of the Most High, the kingdom of heaven, is going to come as a city that's going to come down out of the skies. All right? That's not the case, because the kingdom of heaven, the kingdom of the Most High is being put together now. All right? Because once again, a place doesn't make the people make the place. So when you have the people that are coming together in this fashion, you're seeing the kingdom of the Most High being brought back, being put together, and is going to be made manifest in the last days. Okay? Verse 21 says, "Neither shall they say, lo here, or lo there." Right? It says, "For behold, the kingdom of the Most High is within you." And he was speaking to the Israelites that believed. All right. You know, he was talking over the Pharisees and the wicked scribes and Pharisees and Sadducees' head. And really he was speaking to the ones that believed. All right. So the kingdom is within us. We make the kingdom. And guess what? Like I mentioned before, it's going to be made manifest and it's going to be made known who's a part of that kingdom. When Yahushua returns and gather his elect from the four winds, like it says in the scripture, and then we're going to be brought forth to the earth in a glorious fashion. All right, once the destruction overpasses. So I'm gonna go ahead and end it off on that note. Lord's will is edifying to the elect of the nation of Israel. And once again, I want to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushai, Ba'ashem Rachakodash. Also, double honors to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone that rule very well to this very day. Also, Shalom to the hopeful elect that is also plowing in his word, giving you due diligence to make your calling and election sure, in faith, in truth, in sincerity, and in all charity. And with that, go say Shalom.